Hello and welcome to day 11 of MP Strong 365. Today we are going to do a running readiness workout or a cardio readiness workout. I just happen to have run before this workout, which means that I'm down a few notches on some of the muscle groups that normally get me through, right? So I've just burned out the calves and the quads, and I've done this in a limited range of motion. So chances are these exercises are going to be dirtier or messier or like wobblier than maybe they would be before I ran. So to solve the age-old question of which should I do first, cardio or weightlifting or whatever, my non-cardio stuff, the answer from a metabolic standpoint, aka more calories burned, is always do cardio first. Just period. Full stop. Like that's the catch-all. There are major exceptions to that, but in general, if you want to burn more calories for your whole like workout stint, do the cardio first. It's very simple. Your heart rate is higher, so you just burn more calories. And if you want to focus on a lift or do a high intensity lift, then do your lift first. The other benefit of lifting first is it flips on more switches in your body, so you'll get more core activation, maybe more of those muscles ready, hence the running readiness or cardio readiness workout, so that when you do your cardio, it is higher quality, thus burning more calories. So, but that's a chancier situation than just like straight up getting your heart rate up and then doing the lift. A little bit further back today, and you notice I'm like absent a mat here because we are going to use the gliders as a toy. Before we do that, our single exercise is a single leg RDL. That is a Romanian deadlift. Do not ask me why it's called Romanian deadlift, because I don't know. And for this pad, you can make it a friend or a foe. This would be the foe because you're standing on it and it will give your ankle stability a run for its money. It can be a friend if you want to use it as some height away from the floor so that you can get to the floor easier, more easily on that one leg. I have a load in my hand. It really like doesn't matter up to this. This is an irrelevant load. It's like what, 10 pounds? So it's just enough for me to keep my shoulder in its socket. Like if I didn't have this load, it's fine for me to do this exercise. And this exercise is me bending slightly from the knee and tipping myself over from the waistline, feeling the hamstring catch. Okay, try to keep the hips square. Your hamstring should turn on. You try to lengthen that back leg and keep your front knee behind the front toes. And then you come up just the way you went down. Try to brace like by taking a breath in maybe at the bottom and then at the top. So again, I can do this without load. I like to have a little bit of a load because it's almost like pulling on the rope a little bit more. It adds sensation to that movement. So this is single leg RDL. I'll do the first set without load. And you can touch one or both hands. The benefit of touching both hands is that you're more likely to, oh my Lord, you track your hips a little bit more than just touching one hand. You might like tip this way, okay? So I'm gonna do 8 more on the single leg RDL on the left-hand side, tracking my hands on either side of the front foot. I'm gonna try to find length through the back of my neck so that everything comes down from the base of my spine all the way down to the tailbone as one unit. If halfway through this set, you're like, my ankle burns so badly, take a beat, tap your foot between reps and re-squeeze up on your glutes again before you do the next rep. It'll just help bring weight up higher versus getting sunken down into your feet. Another benefit of using a load is that you're more likely to feel it in the upper part of the legs. Maybe. And I have trouble tipping my head down and keeping my neck neutral. So I'm going to work on that and my hips staying square. Try to broaden the shoulders, keep everything flat. If I have the floor as my goal, my spine is more likely to round to get me down to the bottom. This does not help me getting up. It helps me get down, but as soon as I try to come up, my abs are not as activated as they need to be for that successful fall-free, wobble-free arrival back at the top. Let's do the other side. I'll switch directions here. And And I need to move this stuff out of the way. I never pick up my toys. I can hear my parents, like when I was a little kid, like, pick up your room. Just leave it there. You'll clean it up when you get to it next time. So we'll go with the single leg RDL on the other leg. I just try to kind of say, hello, abs, let's do something here. And we'll go straight down. And I forgot to inhale at the bottom. And I'm dragging my shoulders up into their sockets more. The last thing, look at what it just did. The last thing you should do on a set of 10 is count to 10. Every rep is an opportunity to enhance the form. So shoulders back, hips square, neck neutral. Breathe in at the bottom or find an abdominal flatness. And good. Hip square. You can even keep your hands on your hip bones if it doesn't distract from you, like not knowing where you end at the bottom. That hand reach down is sort of just a finish point at the bottom. Good. On the way up, I'm going to squeeze the booty and tap the foot. Remember, we talked about ankle burning. So just tap your foot between reps to squeeze your glute. That's the point of it. It's not just to tap it, just to rest. Okay, I'm going to drag my shoulders back even more. The load will help cue me for that. This side is obviously much harder. So like, again, right hip is janky. So it will tempt me to drag my shoulders down. So I'm going to try to just keep them 1 millimeter pulled up into the sockets. Even you can like rise your elbows up and then back down just to test yourself. I'm going to do one more time. Good. And we are done with that. Now we're going to take it to something faster. So pick something to tap. It could be a pad, a nothing, a towel, a weight, whatever it is. You just want an endpoint. So I shouldn't be doing this barefoot, but such is life. So I'm going to do it from the back. So I've got the extra squish factor on the back pad. And I'm like tipping all over the place because my IT bands are tight from the run. So if you're like falling over sideways, like you'd fail a sobriety test, then just try to push your legs together and squeeze them once. That'll just help get a tiny bit of length through your IT bands, the side tendons of your legs. And who knows? We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to just tap and tap. Ooh, this is gnarly. So I'm focusing on switching off, and the first few might be pretty silly looking. They don't have to be fast. Some people are very good at this. Well, running for an hour and then doing something like this, like, is humbling. Because like before the run, this would have been very easy. So I can't cheat anymore. Like I can't use my quads and my hip flexors like I was before because they're like in running mode. So when I do these taps, I'm going to try to bring it up to the midsection, up to the chest. And I always want to do the, once I was a little wooden boy, right? But then I fall over. So, you can make them as fast as you want to if you maintain control and don't move the object that you are tapping. 10, 9, 8, go at your own pace. 6, 5, 4, don't migrate. 3, 2, and 1. All right, my pad moved like 6 inches, just being real. So that gets your heart rate up, and then we're going to go a side step. If you have a set of stairs, a stoop on your porch, anything with height, take a step up on it. Oh, man, I'm going to have to modify this. This is a ground up workout. So I'm going on my dominant leg, and I'm going to stick that heel on. It is now cemented into that step. And I'm going to press up and then side kick. Press up, side kick. Leave the toes. These toes on the free leg are grazing. They're just barely grazing, like I'm touching like super hot super cold water, just testing the waters. Then we come up. Try to kick that leg slightly back behind you. The leg on the bench stays nice and straight. I'm going to put my arms out. Apart from being artistic and silly looking, it can help spread the waistline, meaning like uncollapse it. 3 more times. Good. And we'll relax that. That should feel pretty instantaneously like a booty action. So I'm going to go on the other side, step up on the step here on your non-dominant leg, and we will tap and swing out to the side with the intention of keeping your weight behind, slightly back and to the side. I'm going to readjust so I can try to get this right leg to straighten out. Good. Try to keep pushing weight into that heel that's on the step, just barely grazing the floor. Testing the waters for 4. 3, relax your shoulders. And I'm going to do one more because I'm starting to feel that glute heat up. All right, that is good. So now we're going to go on a tube walk. If you don't have a tube, aka a TheraBand, then you don't have to use one. You can use green, that's light, yellow, that's medium, or red, that is heavy. This light is annoying me. So green, yellow, or red. Red is heavy. This is a medium one. And I'm going to just take a couple steps off to each side of the room. So resistance on the band. This one is not resisting enough, unfortunately. So let's, again, if you don't have a band, just stay low. So just watch the motion. Tube walking, this is like a squat walk. It's just a heavy squat walk. So when I step to the side, this is like the most ridiculous looking. I hate this exercise because it's just like, what am I doing here? It looks so awkward. So I'm going to capitalize on points of focus where I get control back of this silly looking exercise. I'm going to press my hands together, squeeze my chest muscles, try to maintain an upright spine. Okay, yeah, this looks even worse, but at least like if I'm walking like an Egyptian or whatever, then I'm directing muscles to what I want them to be doing. So my chest is squeezing, my elbows are drawn back, my spine is hopefully upright, and I could be getting lower in my squat walk, my tube walk. This is just for those hip stabilizers. Okay, so focus on the inside of the leg as you're moving the other one to meet it. Focus on the inside of the leg as you're moving the other one to meet it. That's a nice secret cue. Inside of the leg as you move across, move across, move across. I can do like 10,000 of these because stabilizer muscles are just that. They stay stable while the other ones are moving around all day long. So high rep is the name of the game there. I'm sort of migrating backwards just a little bit, so I'm going to look down, draw that straight line. It's okay to migrate just as long as you know you're doing it. One more time. You directing your motion is the theme of all of these exercises, or any exercise really. Okay, and here we are at the gliders. So I'm going to lay on my back with the gliders. If you don't have gliders, which like you don't need to have gliders if you have a hard floor, because you can use socks. Just put on socks. Put on like nice and thick, like slippery socks. They got to be able to slide on the floor. These probably this would be easier in socks because less friction than the gliders have. If you have plastic gliders, then you could do it on a carpet. So just obviously. All right, so with our hamstrings on our gliders, or this is the intent of the exercise. See, now I'm going run dumb. So I'm going to try to keep it together. I'm going to press the back of my spine closest to where the back of my pelvic bones end into the floor a little bit. And then I'm just going to slide both legs out, driving through the heels and back in. Oh my goodness, I missed the first one. And I'm going to try to I have to keep my heels, attached firmly to those gliders. And I'm going to try to keep my ankles flexed so my toes are pointed up towards my face as I do this. Okay, you ever seen people do box jumps or try to jump on a box? What's happening, right? Imagine this movement in standing, jumping up or driving the knees straight up to the chest. This is like a vertical jump at ground zero. And even watching the mirror, I'm watching like this one kind of wants to come up first. So I'm going to try to even them out. This is a very easy exercise to just go through the motions. You ever heard that term, going through the motions? So if you have a mirror and you can watch, if your one leg is moving in before the other one, I can see my left one is like appearing above my right one, like as if by magic, but it just wants to lead the way. So this is all you need. Like, you do not need to be in a bridge position. You don't need to add like more resistance. This is enough. If you have a good coefficient of friction against the floor, and you really dig those heels down, I'm not even going to do a bridge because I can do bridges after, but these drag outs, either one or both legs at once, is enough. So I'm watching my knees for erratic behavior, meaning one like leg moving in faster than the other one. So now I'm going to try not to think about it as much and see if they do the same thing. Hopefully, once you get your legs to move evenly and your toes are really pointed up heavily towards your face, you'll feel this enough to not have to do anything else. Your body stays completely still. If you notice any shift in your body forwards or backwards, that's something to work on as well. Good. Keep pressing your spine, your shoulder blades against the floor. Try to relax your head completely. This is a very isolated exercise because you're not using your upper body at all. That's the whole point. Couple more times. My hamstrings are also wicked weak at the end ranges. So me coming out to a full range, they heard me talking about them, the kneecaps, the patella released on top of my kneecap, which means that the hamstring that's underneath the knee got some kind of love. So this woo-woo stuff is not woo-woo at all. Like, literally, I said the name of a muscle. I thought about the muscle. I extended my legs all the way out to get a full length through that hamstring, and the patella in the front of the knee released as a result. So I'm going to do 2 more times. If you're getting bored, you're not digging down in the floor hard enough. Or, feel free. Go into a bridge and do these. Like, that is hard as heck, and I don't want to do that right now. But I'll do it another time because my legs are tired from the run. But you are welcome to do these with your hips lifted away from the floor, okay? I was just doing with hips down. You're also welcome to go one leg at a time if that's your game today, all right? And so we are going to take it into a fast glider exercise now, a little bit faster. We're going to go into elbows. Let's go on elbows, forearms. Put your gliders on your feet. Flex your ankles just like they were before. Drag your shoulders into their sockets and slide your feet out and in. Out and in. I'm looking down at my 10 toes, drawing a straight line out, straight line in. Now I'm going to try to tuck my tailbone. Inner thigh. Exposing those hip flexors, trying to drag that crevasse of your crotch down into the floor to get longer through there, dragging the shoulder blades together, pushing the hips forwards, which means that you create a flatter U from the front side. Pulling your tailbone down underneath you. Let's go 6. I'm going to direct my attention back to my legs. Moving apart and together. Inner thighs are an obvious here. Outside of the hips. And one, and we are out of that. Go ahead and take your moment here in a child's pose. Good. Come on out of that child's pose, and we'll come into a scissor abs. Flip over, lay on your back. Scissor abs. Actually, like you could do scissors like this, or you could do scissors like this. I was envisioning the long scissor. So flailing your legs about, there's like a multitude of options. You can do these crosses, crisscross. I'm gonna do some scissors all the way down and switch. Hey, the reason I'm doing it that way is just because I kind of want to get the hamstring length taken care of. So I'm going to try to keep locking the leg. Every time I go down with the leg, I'm going to push on that leg so it gets even more straight. And I go down with the leg, I push down on it even more straight. Good. Now, once you've got that leg straight at the bottom cue, you're going to come up no higher than hip height. If this is impossible for you right now, bend your legs. It's not a big deal. Okay. If this feels like your lower back is like getting a bit of a workout here that it probably shouldn't be, put your hands underneath your butt. Or you can lift your head and shoulders up. Okay, so I'm just doing it with trying to keep my upper body as relaxed as possible and focusing on now squeezing the glute right as I kiss my heel down to the floor and keep with that leg length. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do for the last 8 is slice all the way past the inner thighs. So the inner thighs just almost make contact. They're like very close to each other as I switch the legs. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wonderful. All right, let's do a little happy baby if you want, or drag your knees into your chest. Just do a little wide out stretch. They call happy baby the one where in yoga you hook your thumbs onto your big toes. Or wait, what did I just say? Your two fingers and your thumbs around your like an A-OK grip around your big toe. And then you can extend those legs out. It looks ultimately ridiculous, and most people like can't get to this. I probably shouldn't because I'm hypermobile in this sense, but that's the nature of the happy baby. It's just like an extra version of like hugging your knees to your chest or doing a butterfly stretch. All right, happy babies. Let's come on up to standing. How are we doing on time here? Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm gonna do a load for my single leg RDLs. And I'm gonna use my step as my little height here. And it doesn't really matter, pad or step, whatever. So if you have more height away from the floor on your single leg RDLs, headless Monica, then you can perfect your square hips. You could maybe start further away from the step, like versus being close. Because look, when I do that, right, I'm nice and close, my shoulders drop. That's how I would normally go down and get something throughout the day. Yikes, right? I'm just like, oh yeah, let me use as little energy as possible, or like this route, or like this route, even worse. So in terms of just like getting it done most efficiently, and we don't want that. We want it to be done orchestrated through the right muscle group. So I took a step away from that step. Pull the shoulder into its socket. And I might add a little bit of spice here just with the curl at the top, but I don't know about all that. Why ruin a good thing, right? I feel like my hips are relatively square. I feel like I'm tracking in a straight, flat line. I could do more to drag my shoulder back up into its socket. The more you can keep your shoulder up and back, the more you will light up that beautiful hamstring. I'm going to relax my head and neck. Gentle toe tap to reset. I don't know what that was. every time you come back up. No rep is guaranteed success. So it's not necessarily about getting tired. It's more about losing your point of focus. So get it back. Draw your whole self back to belly button. 2 more. Not great. Excelente. Let's do the other side. Ooh. All right. I'm going to step a foot away from that step there. Take a breath and we will begin. The fun thing about this is like the heart rate does go up when you're doing these. Maybe just a touch too far. So, well, maybe not, because I was dragging my shoulder, like I was letting my shoulder drop. So on your more tight hip, whichever one it is for you, you'll be able to identify that very easily because your arm will want to droop to get to your finish point. Okay. Little wobble in the ankle, go back up into the inner thighs. I see people do these in various speeds. There's no magical speed, but if you're doing them too fast, then it's like done before you had a chance to identify the muscle group that you used to do it. All right, we've got 2 more. I know I'm not keeping my shoulder in its socket. Let's go. Pull it down there. Oh yeah, baby. All right. Okay, cool. We're done with that. Yeah, don't really want to do these toe taps, but I'm gonna. In fact, I'm gonna tap this. This is gonna suck because this is double the height. So this is more like a stoop. I was taking the easy route before, easy street. So I'm just gonna start by just tapping and keeping. I want to rise up through the heel first. So really trying to get onto the ball of the foot. I hope you're not hearing the dinging. People are texting me and my computer text is on, so it's making a noise. And I'm tapping. I'm just tapping. Like, you can set a timer because maybe you'll get bored, right? But you know the looming threat of speed in this. And so if you're already doing speed, go ahead and take a break or stop and you can rest. And I'm going to do 40, with vit and vigor. All right, here we go. Up and over the step, stay up and over the step, stay up and over the step. Shoot. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, whatever. It's messy. We got it done. Side step. I'm going to start with the left since I'm on this side. So dominant leg is fine. Let's just push it back. Okay. Let's just get it done. Up and tap. Lift and down. I have 5 more. I have a beloved client who, and I don't practice what I preach half the time, most of the time actually. 2 and 1. Runner, hugely successful, ridiculously talented runner. How do we have time to run and do all the other stuff with a full set of activities taking up the day? So I said to her, before you go inside, drop to the sidewalk on a little, stoop thing. I'm doing the other side. I'm on number 2 coming up. And do at least a push-up position, mountain climbers or knee to chest, that's the add-on. The best thing to do would be a set of 10 push-ups. Drop down, do 10 push-ups. That's it. Imagine thousands of runs, like 365 runs or 300 runs. That's 3,000 push-ups in the course of a year. Wait, what? Did I do math right? Yeah, add a 0. 300 times 10, 3,000 push-ups. If I said, hey, I want you to do 3,000 push-ups, that's it. It's a year, right? That's pennies in a jar. 10 push-ups after every run. I'm calling this, like, this counts as my 10 push-ups, like all this stuff. But I don't remember it most of the time. Wish I did. But doing something afterwards, something besides just stopping, that's the name of the game. Upper body strength, though, was the goal, cumulatively. Pennies in a jar, one more time. All right. Man, those are burny. 2 block. I get bored really easily, so I don't do things twice because I get tired of them. But you got to do what you got to do. And I've got to do things a little bit differently. Okay. Squat down. And if you're listening to a podcast or a song, or if you have a workout buddy, I'm just going about 4 steps in each direction. In order to not hunch my shoulders, I'm going to press my hands together, keep my chest open, drag the shoulders back, and be mindful of keeping a lot of distance between the legs. So I'm a little bit like stodgy looking with these, like a little lumbering. So I'm going to imagine now dragging the leg in to with the inner thigh. So if I'm moving right, now I'm going to move left. Move left, left inner thigh, left inner thigh, left inner thigh, left inner thigh, right inner thigh, right inner thigh. Press your palms to your chest. Right inner thigh, right inner thigh. So it's the bringing back to exactly that spot, keeping distance between the legs, inner thigh. It's hard to get both, that precision, but also that inner thigh smooth drag. You may not be able to like connect these dots in real time right now, but me telling you, it's going in there somewhere. Left inner thigh, left inner thigh. Smooth in, leave space between the legs, push your palms, and I am out in 2 and 1. All right, good enough on that. Glider, hamstring. This is like, truth be told, like I probably could do this more effectively if I weren't talking to you. So I'm not going to talk. You're going to hear some guttural noises coming out of my mouth, but I'm going to try to do some of these in a bridge. If this recording doesn't work, I'm going to be so angry. But so we're going to come up into a bridge position, and I'm just going to do 12 drag outs. Actually, I'm going to go right, left, both. Okay, here we go. That was left, whatever. Right. And both. Lead with the right. Right. Left. Both. Alternating the leading leg. Alternating the leading leg. Palms are up. Palms are up. Toes point towards the face. Keep your hips off the floor 1 centimeter. 1 inch, maybe 2 inches. Actually, if you keep them only a centimeter off the floor, it's way harder because you remove compensating muscle groups. That was me trying to get down to 1 centimeter. Let's go. Some people might laugh at how easy this is for them, but we're all on our own journey here. do one more set. Oh my God, I can't. I'm dying. Okay. Oh, those are so hard at the end. Okay. Oh my land. All right. That was fun. Flip it over. But in general, talking to myself is highly motivating. Glider in and out. Glider in and out. Let's do 20. So count your 20. Oops. Keep them clean. Keep them clean here, folks. Drag your tailbone down under you. Cut a thick piece of paper. Drag your elbows down into your pockets. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Feel that booty. For 6. Okay, enjoy your child's pose moment. A moment of Zen. Remember that? SNL, moment of Zen. Was that a moment? No. Well, that was Deep Thoughts. What is moment of Zen? I can't remember. And we'll come up out of that. We got scissor abs, and then we'll call it. I'm going to do swizzles. Like I said, I get bored doing the same thing. So swizzles are just kissing the inner thighs. Just give the inner thighs a little kiss. And after the next 8, I'm going to lift my head and shoulders. Lift the head and shoulders. You can do your long scissors. You do you, boo. I got to do these little swizzles. Change it up. I'm going down towards the floor, and then maybe I'll come up away from the floor, and then I'll realize my neck is doing too much work, and I'll clasp it in my head a little bit more, try to relax the head, keep the abs at front and center, keep swizzling, keep swizzling. They call this changements in bar, changements. Kiss those inner thighs, keep it tight, keep the kneecaps pointed straight up. Make that little circle for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Butterfly stretch. Kiss your heels together. Roll your lower back into the floor, rocking the pelvis. Drag your shoulders down. Maybe wobble around a little bit. Windshield wiper would be the legs going down to one side and the legs down to the other side. I'm probably going to hit some yoga tomorrow. I suck at teaching yoga because, like, I don't know. I'm not good enough at it to just talk without doing it. Like, I've got the script and all that. But if I'm doing it and talking, then it's really hard to, like, have your yogic moment. So that's why I always just hijack yoga, do, like, yoga hybrid. All right. That was fantastic. Y'all have a great Monday morning coming up, or whatever day you're watching this in your world. Peace.